James Lai from MEETIG8. Over the last few months, I've had many people ask me the questions, how do I move out of a corporate job into independent consulting or freelancing? And how do I create a steady flow of income or work to warrant leaving my full-time role? If you're asking these questions, and if you're thinking about moving out of your corporate job into independent consulting or freelancing, then this short video is for you. I'd like to share with you some tips, some ideas, and some key considerations that you do need to take into account as you venture out of a corporate job into freelancing or independent consulting. Point number one, do you have sufficient experience? I would strongly suggest that 4 to 5 years experience is probably the minimum as you are thinking about moving into working for yourself and working as an independent consultant, because clients do look for experience, they do look for competencies and skills that are usually gained through those years of experience. And having those years of experience just gives you credibility with clients. So if you do not have 4 to 5 years, I would suggest to stay on in your corporate job, clock up the experience, and get enough bench time, because bench time is king. Point number two, how long is my runway? Or in other words, how much finance do I have to last me for a good period of time before I have to return to my corporate job? I would strongly suggest to have a period of 12 months where you give independent consulting a go. And within a period of 12 months, you should be able to tell whether it is for you or whether it's not, whether it's working or it's not. So look at your finances and obviously work out the numbers to make sure that you are able to meet your debt obligations and repayments and that sort of stuff, to make sure that you've got enough and still able to live comfortably for the 12 months. Point number three, instead of resigning outright, find out from your employer whether they offer options such as unpaid break or unpaid leave or career break, so you can actually try before you buy and work out whether working as an independent consultant and running your own business works out for you or not. So speak to your HR department, find out what options are on the table before considering resigning from your corporate role. Point number four, am I mentally ready to take on this new challenge? Coming out on your own, out of a corporate job, also means that the environment is different, the level of support that you get is different and possibly reduced. There is less routine, there's less of a fixed schedule, there's less of an operating rhythm. So these are implications and pros and cons that you do need to weigh and think about before taking on the new challenge. The next point is on business structure and insurance. What sort of business structure do I need? What insurance do I need to buy? I would strongly suggest speaking to an accountant to find out what structure you need, be it sole trader or company or partnership or so on. Speak to an accountant, find out what the options are, what these structures mean, and what the advantages are of each one. Speak to an insurance broker to find out what insurance cover you need as an independent consultant. You may need to consider things like professional indemnity insurance and public liability insurance. But yes, I strongly suggest speak to an accountant, speak to an insurance brokers, find out what their advice is, what options are there for you. The next point, where do I work out of? Working for yourself or as an independent, most independent consultants will consider working from home. That keeps the overheads down. Some people would consider options like co-working spaces or virtual offices. It just depends on the environment that you prefer and also your budget. Obviously, you do also have the options of working in certain public places like cafes and the library if you need to, but it all comes down to preference and budget, and also what works best for your working style. And my last point is, how do I get started? I'd say the first thing to do is to get organized, to make sure that you've got some sort of a routine going, some sort of an operating rhythm going, and some sort of a system going for yourself. The more you're prepared, the more you're set up for success. Next, build your personal brand. Start by reviewing your LinkedIn profile, your CV, your resume, and make sure that it is on message. Make sure that the points in there and the details are updated and are accurate. Next, seek to constantly enhance your profile by looking at what opportunities are out there to build your brand, such as speaking at conferences, writing thought leadership, leveraging your network, speaking to your connections, social media, and so on. It's a big range of items that you can consider, but focus on your brand, Focus on your personal brand, as that is what sells. Next, create a list of clients or potential clients and the kind of work that you would like. The clearer you have on who you could approach and what kind of work you could pitch for, the more confident and more structured you will be in your approach to getting work. Then you generate leads. Speak to people in the industry. Leverage your network. Speak to your connections. Have coffees or teas with these people. Find out what's going on. Find out what work's available and so on. Just be in the market and be active and connect as much as you can through networking events. Keep track of your admin. Working for yourself means that you've got to be on top of your admin. Things like invoicing and collections and renewals and things like that, you need to stay on top of to make sure that you run a successful business. Balance your workload. Make sure that you bake flexibility and work-life balance into your workload. Ensure that you are clear on what your availability is so that you can actually pitch for work that you can deliver and deliver comfortably. I wish you all the best as you explore all your options and as you go through all these key considerations and prepare to take the leap from your corporate jobs into the wonderful world of consulting or independent consulting. All the best.